Greetings, my friends. Welcome to the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White. I'm your host, India. I'm so thankful to be here with you today. I love to check on my peeps. I always want to see if you guys are doing great. Okay, go ahead and log in. Go ahead and share the show with those that are watching. We've got a phenomenal show today. This show is going to be amazing because we're going to feature rock stars internationally throughout the community, people that are doing phenomenal things as a result of a wonderful series that was put on a conference by Dr. Onika Shirley, which was called Action Speaks Volume Summit. We were all able to be a part of it. And so with that, I want to highlight these phenomenal guests on the show today. So if you're watching, you are surely in for a treat. Now, you guys know I'm going to give you some updates as always. So the first things first, welcome to the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White. If you're wanting to be a guest on the show, please make sure that you're sending me your email with a photo and a bio to india.white.123@gmail.com so we can get you slotted in, okay? Now, next, the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White, it will be aired on the radio station SoulNet WKDH every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Ken, so much for this amazing opportunity. I'm so thankful for my community in Gainesville, Florida, and just throughout the nation. So definitely check out the show then. This show also will be aired that time as well. Another thing, make sure you're following me on social media. Okay, if you have not yet, here's some social media links here. I've got my Facebook is Miss India White. LinkedIn is The India White. Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach. I'll spell this out for the radio. It's INDI.SP as in Paul, EAK, the letter N, and the word teach all together. And then you've got Instagram is Indie238. That's INDI238. And YouTube is India White 123. So go ahead and check those channels out. Thank you so much. In addition to that, the Real Talk Show is also featured on Swain Girl Media Channel and also on Apple iTunes. Thanks to Precious Swain. You can visit Firestick and see more details regarding that. Thank you, Precious, for this amazing opportunity. Also, please make sure that when you have a chance, you're checking out my website, www.india-white.com. I love updating the blog section for you. There are books on there. There's other, resources on there to help you if you're wanting me to come out and help you at an event, whether that's through speaking, workshops, trainings, or whatnot. I'm here at your service. So let's get going. And so with that said, guys, I am super excited because we are so thankful for the people that are here today. This show is streaming live. Of course, as we know, we're always streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and so many other platforms. And so with that said, I am so excited and thrilled to bring on these phenomenal guests. And I'm going to blast them for you guys because they are all rock stars in their own right. So with that said, help me welcome the guests from Action Speaks Volume Summit. We've got Dr. Ray Al, we've got Vera, we've got Dr. Charlene. Welcome, ladies. How are you? Greetings, everyone.
Greetings to you too.
All right, so I want to get started. I'm going to start with Vera, and I want Vera to just tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Vera Thomas. I am a certified transformational coach. I am a 9-time best-selling Amazon author. I also have developed programs instilling greatness in yourself and your children. And I'm so excited about that. I also am a speaker, international speaker, and international trainer. And I'm just excited to be here to help uplift, encourage, motivate, and inspire. And I also have a radio, video, podcast show as well.
Oh, awesome. So you're also a talk show host. So, Vera, this is impressive. So you're a 9-time best-selling author. You're a speaker, international trainer, and a talk show host. Can you answer a question for me? How did you get started with all of this? Because I know people are probably scratching their heads like, wow, this lady has accomplished so much. How did you get started? For those that they might want to be you someday, and they're not quite sure how to start. How did you get
Well,
started?
growing up with no confidence, no self esteem, having to work on myself, having to understand what Eleanor Roosevelt said when she said, no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. Once I learned that, I realized I don't want any child to feel like they don't have confidence or self esteem. I don't want parents to not understand the attitudes and behaviors that they're bringing into parenting that impact on their children. So
Right.
we talk about the things that, and so my own personal experiences is what led me to be involved with parents and children. My background spans over 40 years, and I've worked with companies, organizations, schools, and churches. But right now, my heart is with parents and their children.
Wow, that's very impressive. So 40 years of that. Now, were you an educator or just a counselor? What did you do? Like, because I mean, that's so long of a result,
Yes, it is.
a long
I'm
time.
old.
I mean, it's hey, it's commendable. I commend you. I've got some friends that are retiring and stuff soon from education, and so I just want to hear your heart for a minute for those that they might have been hesitant to be in a field to help like that. Maybe they don't know the rewards of it. So maybe you could talk to us a little bit about that.
For a long time growing up, I questioned, what is my purpose? Why was I born? Because of all, hearing all those negative tapes. And I was like, Lord, why was I born? And I went to a 3-day seminar from my job, and the facilitator was so bubbly and so enthusiastic, and something just hit me in my belly. And I went to her and I said, I want to do what you do. And she became my mentor. And I've been on the journey of training since then. I was
Wow.
25, 24 at the time, and I've been on that journey since then. Um, and so that's how I got started. And then I went to school. I actually started doing my work before I went to college. And then once
Mhm.
I got my degree and my master's, I am not a teacher per se, but I have substitute taught, and I've developed programs that are in the school systems.
Oh, wonderful. What type of programs have you developed in the school systems?
Well, my flagship program was called Poetry in My Vision. And
Okay,
that's where kids would come and write. They could write short stories, songs, poems, or raps as it relates to what's going on in their lives.
that's
They
powerful.
also taught presentation skills, and they also did vision boards. I now have an anti-bullying program called Using My Power, an
Mm.
all school assembly called I Believe in Me. And then that's my greatness, which is a confidence and self esteem program that I've done in the school systems.
This is impressive, and I'm sure you've been able to merit so many different results. Now, I'm going to move it to Dr. Real because you spoke about purpose. And when I thought of you authors and you leaders today, the one person I just kept thinking of when I was thinking about purpose was Dr. Real, because it seems like Dr. Real has found her purpose, and I don't want to take away any of her limelight. So I'm going to now introduce to you guys Dr. Real, who is on the panel today, who is, oh my goodness, a rock star in her own right, doing so many different things. And so, Dr. Real, I want us to first hear about who are you, what is it that you do, and then how did you find your purpose?
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. India, for having me today in your platform. I really just want to applaud you for the wonderful, wonderful work that you are doing. For opening a platform for leaders like us today to share our life-changing stories. Really, you are really, really impacting the community, the society with this platform. So I just want to applaud you, my friend.
Thank you.
So my name is Riel Kunene. Yes, like you've mentioned, I think I've discovered my purpose at a very, very tender age. So I am a speaker, I am an author, I am a publisher. It really depends who's asking me the question, really, because I'm going to tell you I'm just a woman of many, many hats, because I believe that we're in full control of our own choices. So myself, I told myself at a very tender age that you know what, I'll have to go confident in the direction of my dreams. So growing up, I just told myself I will go for whatsoever my heart desire, and I just did that. So I am in full control of my choices. I am in full control of what I do, because my everyday message is that your journey to be a better person, it starts with you, nobody else but you. So
Wow.
once you know yourself, who you are to your core, it will make you understand that you are the only one who can carry yourself to your destination. It's not going to be your friend, it's not going to be your parents, it's not going to be your siblings, but it's only you, because I believe that we are all destined for greatness. So the moment you know that, you know what, I am destined for greatness inside of myself, God has put those seeds of excellence. So what I'll have to do with those seeds, it has to flourish, it has to grow, it has to germinate in order for me to be the change that I want to see in this world. So I believe I've already found my purpose in life. My purpose is just to make a change, be the change. The change that I want to see in this world must first begin with me. So it has just started, and I believe that I am really, really destined for greatness.
Yes,
Wow.
you are.
That's amazing. Now, the thing is, Dr. Real, not everybody knows how to begin on that. Like, you're such a motivator with what you just said.
Mm,
I mean, you're a best-selling author. You have a publishing company. You're a speaker. You're a leader in your own right. I mean, and
mm.
how many books do you have published, Dr.
Yeah,
Real?
now
Oh,
it's six. It's six on my own, but I believe it's more than that around the world who have just contributed.
yes. That's
Yeah.
phenomenal. And so, I mean, what about the person that they're like, I want to write a book. I'm not quite sure. I see what y'all are saying. Y'all look great. But me, I mean, I'm just sitting here with a bag of popcorn. I don't know that I have that in me. What advice
Mhm.
did you give to them?
Honestly, you'll have to get started at some point in life. You'll have to get started. So like as an independent publisher, really, to me, I believe that working with the right team to publish your book is so critical. So you'll have to find yourself the accountability partner. That's what I say, of which means is the publishing. If it's not the publishing company, it has to be a publisher who is coaching you to get started with that very first book. So from my experience, I've managed to guide my clients on how to complete their first draft and what makes sense on their publishing choices. And then we sit down, like we kind of sit down and strategize everything, and then I shared with them why professional editing is it's so critical, why pricing, promotion, distributing tips, it's so critical to understand all that, and why you'll have to choose the right publishing path, because it's not all the publishing paths that you'll have to take that will make your book best selling. And it's not all about best selling, it's all about the value in the book. I can't just publish a book and then sell it for 2.99. I am sorry, that's not just me. I publish a book that will be selling instead of being like kept in those shelves on Amazon shelves without selling. So get started, work on the first draft, and then once you have work on the first draft, then get that accountability partner who will hold you accountable for every action that you take regarding that book.
Wow, this is fabulous. Thank you so much for this. I was thinking today, everybody is writing books or at least starting to write books. People are launching collaborations like crazy. And so this makes me now shift to Dr. Charlene, who is also joining us today. Welcome to the show, Dr. Charlene. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
And,
Thank
and
you.
I just want to have you now introduce yourself and then just kind of take it from where Dr. Real had us and talk to us about your advice for people that are trying to get started and they need a vision. So go ahead and talk to us. Who are you? What is it that you bring into our space tonight?
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Dr. India White, for allowing this opportunity to grace your stage, your virtual stage. I'm very, very honored. I am Dr. Charlene D. Winley, CEO and founder of Rescripted Life Coaching, Rescripted Life Academy, and the Soul Care Coach. I'm a life strategist, a transformation specialist, and the Soul Care Coach, as I stated. And I help professional women to overcome life-altering experiences, to come out of hiding and to recover their identity so that they can live activated in their purpose, and they can live their life by design and not by default. So I speak on trauma, identity, emotion, physical, mental, emotional, sexual abuse, and soul care, as well as purpose. So as far as stepping up, well, let me preface this way. As far as stepping into what you want to do and having a vision, everything begins with, I always tell people, work on the inner. Always work on the inner before you start working on the outside. And if you work on the inner, you can build that strong foundation, and that will help you set, what you want to do in life. You got to deal with the core. You got to deal with your issues. So that's why I always take people to the beginning. So one of the books my first published book was Rescripted Life, 31 Days to Reconnect to Your Purpose. And everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a reason why they're born here. It's just that people, quote unquote, find your purpose. It's not about finding your purpose. Your purpose is inside of you. You was basically born with it. Maybe your life experiences and different things will allow you to connect with it, allow you to see, hey, I've always been drawn to this, or I've always felt a plug in my heart for this. And, I always advocated for that. So that book, I really, really help people to go through the process of looking at different things that occurred in their life, what traumatic situation, whether it was a betrayal, and whatever different things that occurred in their life. And that helps you to reconnect your purpose. I am a 3-time best-selling author as well. And
Wow.
I'm part of 4 books, 4 anthologies that I'm been blessed to have been part of, and that's how I met Dr. Onika Shirley through one of the anthologies, Godfidence Stories of Unshakable Faith with Dr. Karen Hills Pruitt. That's how I met Dr. Onika Shirley, and then here's my way to meeting you. But just like Dr. Riel stated and Dr. Vera Williams stated, that once you connect to what you want to do, then it's just easier to go ahead and do it. Stop looking at everyone else and what they're doing, how they're doing it. Sit down, write out, what is it that I want to do? What do I connect with? And don't say, well, that person's doing it. That person's doing it. Yes, there's more than one doctor in the world. There's more than one teacher in the world. There's more than one graphic artist in the world. So don't worry about who's doing what. Focus on what you're doing, what you were purposed to do. And do not be afraid to make mistakes. Welcome mistakes. Welcome mistakes, because from your mistakes, you will learn what not to do and what you need to do. We're born in a culture where everyone thinks everything has to be perfect, because we got to keep taking the pictures and put up the perfect picture on Instagram, the perfect picture on Facebook, or have the perfect graphic. But don't worry about being perfect. Be purposeful. That's more what you want to be. Be impactful, be influential, instead of going after perfection. And babies learn how to walk by falling, by looking, doing all of that, looking a little bit crazy, because they're learning. They don't have their balance yet. But as they step, guess what? Their legs get stronger. They become more confident, and they're going to keep doing it. So that's how we have to do. Where we are today is not where we're going to be 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now. So get started, and don't worry about how you look doing it. Just get started, get the information. You start as a novice, and then you become an expert, but you never become an expert if you don't begin. So you got to get started and get it done.
Oh my word. Now listen, you are dropping some bombs here. So my thing here though, Dr. Charlene, is this. What about the people that feel hindered? They feel like, I hear you, but I'm kind of tied up with this right now, so I can't quite get to my purpose, because I either have another obligation, or I'm working somewhere, or I've got a husband that's not as supportive, or a wife that doesn't quite get my vision. I know somebody who, I spoke to, they had a business and their wife was not supportive, so they had to shut down their business to stay married. So and then you've got people that are like, listen, I've got a 9 to 5. I've got to pay bills, and I hear you, but I don't know how that's going to affect my 9 to 5. So, I mean, my dreams are kind of dying on the side, so I can just pay my bills. What advice do you have for them?
Well, I would say, you have to take care of first things first. You got to keep a roof over your head, especially if you're already in a committed relationship. You have a family to take care of. You got to take care of first things first, but you can start a little bit at a time. There's a lot of free things out there. There's that you can connect with. There's books galore on Google. There's YouTube videos, and just start a little bit that way. You may have to do a couple of things freelance, or a couple of things free, depending on, this is such a broad advice. But depending on what it is that you're going after, you have to start somewhere. You just say,
Wow.
well, can I do this, or can I be a part of this, or can I be a vendor? And then as far as if you're in a relationship, you sit down, you talk to your spouse, your mate about what it is that you want to do, and they're not on board, then there's other factors going on. It's not a
Yeah.
fact. There's other things, that's happening that this person don't want to align with you. So that's something that you need to go see a counselor or a therapist,
Yeah.
because that's real talk right there. So I can't say, well, leave your spouse or do this and they don't want to be part. No, because there's other factors if your person don't want to connect. Okay. So I
Yeah.
mean, you gotta deal with your home front, you gotta deal with your issues. And that is why I always tell people deal with their issues first before they try to go out there for the gram. I mean, last week on Vera Williams' show, I said, people have replaced drugs and alcohol and gambling and all those self-medicating behavior for the like, shares, and follows. So that's what we're running after now. We're running after like, share, and follows because that makes me feel good about myself. But you got to deal with here first. You got to deal with your trauma. You have to deal with the different things that occurred in your life. You have to deal with the embarrassment. You have to deal with if you came from a family that was poor, or you dealt with poverty, or you had incarcerated parents. Those things are real, and those things we try to hide our past by making ourselves look good and trying to accomplish things to make us forget it. But if you deal with that, you own it, it occurred, it doesn't define me, then you'll be able to move forward into what you have.
So thank you so much, Dr. Charlene, for sharing this. And you're talking about dealing with issues. I want to talk about that, and I want everyone on the panel to discuss this, but also, how do you deal with not only issues, also with haters? I'm going to explain. Sometimes, say you do step out and you're like, okay, I'm going to start that business, I'm going to write that book, and then you're successful, or you're on the journey to birthing that baby, for lack of words. And then all of a sudden you have someone that tries to sabotage it, or you have someone that is just not as supportive, or someone that is trying to run with what you are trying to do. I don't know. Like, what do you do when you're dealing with those issues? Whether they're frenemies or haters or people that just don't get your vision, or like you said, a loved one, someone that you thought would be cheering you on and they're pulling you down. So how do you deal with that? I'm going to start with Dr. Vera, then Dr. Rayal, and then come back to Dr. Charlene on that question.
Okay. First of all, we don't have any control over how other people see us, how other people feel about us, how other people may hate on us. We don't have any control over that. The only thing we have control over is how we see what we're doing, how we see ourselves. We cannot, if everybody were to stop doing what they wanted to do or stop doing their purpose because there's somebody else that's hating on them, that's their issue, not yours. And I just wanted, what you were talking about, I have this poem called Hold Fast to Your Dreams that I would really like to share if I have time.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, because sometimes life happens, but I just want to say to you today, hold fast to your dreams, even if at times it seems it may not come true. Living your dreams will depend on you. The roads we take, the paths we choose are necessary to live our dreams through. There may be detours, winding roads, and wrong turns, all in which are lessons to be learned. As your journey unfolds, you'll realize your goals. What a beautiful story soon to be told. So hold fast to your dreams. And in order for your dreams to become a reality, just like Dr. Onika says, you gotta take action. Things will happen. Persist and you will gain. Pursue your goals day by day. Your life will not be the same. Dream dreams without hesitation. Visualize them. See them every day. Feel the excitement, exaltation while you're on your way. We cannot allow other people to dictate to us our lives. And if it's that bad, you need to remove yourself from them, because negativity is a weight. And we don't need to surround ourselves around negative people, garbage dumps, stinking, thinking people. Just get away from them as fast as you can.
Wow. Oh my
Wow.
word. Dr.
Coach,
Al, take it from
oh
there,
my
please.
goodness. Coach Vera, you've just nailed it. You've really, really nailed it. To me, really, as my coach always say that, don't let anyone's opinions about yourself become a reality. So just ignore them, accept them the way they are, because you know what, they're not going to carry you to your final destination. All you need to do is to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So I can see Dr. Onika, she is on fire on the on the chat box. She is really on fire. Yeah. So as a mentor or as a coach, my goal is just simple, is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. So you will need a mentor, you will need a coach instead of the naysayers. You know, naysayers, paying attention to naysayers is really, really expensive as is. So don't ever, ever pay attention to naysayers, because what you'll be doing, you'll be investing in them instead of investing on yourself. Just go for it. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, just go for it, as if no voice around you can silence you on what you really want in life. And you will see it will start manifesting in your life as long as you shut your ears and open your ears for the inner person. So don't ever pay attention to naysayers. And if you happen to fall, try to fall on your back, like Les Brown always says. Fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can always get up. So don't pay attention to naysayers. Go
Wow.
confident in the direction of your dreams.
Wow. Oh my word. You said a mouthful. Paying attention to naysayers is expensive,
It's
not
very
just
expensive.
financially, it's emotionally taxing, it's mentally taxing, and it
Mhm.
convinces you of a lie. And I have a bishop, he always says, don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated. And so,
Yeah.
Dr. Charlene, I want you to take it to the next level on this talk here with how do you keep going forward? How do you keep hold fast to your dream if there are naysayers and there's obstacles and roadblocks? Any advice for us, Dr.
Yes,
Charlene?
absolutely. I mean, don't deal with it. You said, how do you deal with haters? You don't. You don't deal with haters. While you sitting on there running after haters, you leaving your field open. So you don't deal with haters. You know what I'm saying? And like Jack Canfield said, what you think about me is none of my business. That's you. That's your opinion. And I'm not gonna allow your opinion to affect what I'm doing. So here I go back again to dealing with your inner. Once you know who you are, what your purpose is, and what you was born to do, you don't have time to go focus over that. You don't have time to deal with haters and naysayers. Don't even give them your time, your energy. Because like she said, it's costing you money. So you just keep going. You got to believe it. It's what you believe and what you say about yourself and what you say
Wow.
about your vision that matters much more than what other people say about you, about who you are and what you're doing. Because you know what? There's over 7 billion people in the world and there's 7 billion opinions. And you can't, we're going to run after 7 billion opinions. You'll never do anything. You
Wow.
know, people talk about you in your job, but guess what? You show up the next day, you're there.
Yeah, you
People
are.
talk about you in church, and guess what? You're there. So
Yeah.
people talking about people talking about your business. So what? You're giving them something to talk about.
Yeah.
All
Mm.
right. So if no one's talking about you, then you're not doing anything. So if they're talking
Wow.
about you, if they're hating on you, count it all joy.
Amen.
Okay.
Wow.
Not to
Mm.
get religious. They talked about Jesus. They're gonna talk about you. They
They
hate
sure
Jesus.
did.
They're gonna hate you too. So
They did.
here you go.
You're right. We're no greater than
Keep
our
it moving.
master. Oh my
Deal
God.
with your inner thoughts. Sit down and say, hey, if someone says something, why is this hurting me? Why am I affected by what they're saying? So that means there's healing that needs to be done in you. You
Wow.
know, there's something there that's being triggered that you haven't dealt with, your low self-esteem, low self-worth, or whatever it is, or maybe you was criticized as a child, or whatever, someone didn't accept a proposal that you did, and it's like, when you brought something home or you gave something to a teacher and they're like, no, X lined it, and that caused a little something to sit in your heart. So now you
Wow.
got to deal with that. You're dealing with that 5-year-old issue.
Oh my word.
Okay?
You are hitting home. It's a fear of
Mm.
rejection that people are dealing with, and it's people pleasers.
Yeah.
I gotta please them all, and it's like I have found that you're going to do your greatest works alone, and you're going to do your greatest works when you don't ask permission.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to have to leave them behind. They're going to have to either watch you climb the ladder, or they're going to be there with you as you climb the ladder, but they can't it can't be on both. So, it's like if they want to watch you, then you just wave as you you just wave as you're going up.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so Dr. Onika says haters are going to hate, but honey, they don't have anything to do with me, me,
There
me.
you go.
That's
That part.
very good.
So this is fantastic. And I think it's very relieving. Even people will give you advice saying stuff like, "Oh, you don't need to do that." I mean, I can remember when I went to pursue an advanced degree. I'm a single parent. I've been a single parent for about 10 years, but I didn't write my first book until I was a single parent. By the grace of God, I've released number 38. It's a combination of, my own books by myself, also book collaborations. Yes, it has been, thank you for that, but it has been through many partnerships, much focus. I've had people say, "What are you writing a book for? You don't have anything to say. You don't need to write." I've had people when I
Mm,
went to pursue a degree, "What do you need another degree for? You can't afford that. You're going to go in debt." I've had people when I wanted to help my children do certain things, "What for?" So I have found, like you guys are saying, it's very expensive to invest in the wrong voice. And I find that what you got to do sometimes is you got to sit quiet and go with what your gut is saying. And if your gut
mhm.
says, "Hey, you're in the clear here. This is great opportunity," go for it and stop apologizing. Go and be great anyhow. And so, with that said, I want you guys now to talk to us. I'm going to start with Dr. Ayal, and then
Mhm.
we'll go around to Dr. Charlene, and then to Dr. Vera. I want Dr. Ayal to talk about what you did as far as when you were launching out your first time doing something big and it actually worked, what that felt like, and what you learned as a result.
Oh my goodness. I remember the first thing that I've done that was so major to me. I wasn't so into writing until the pandemic. People will not believe me, but yes, I know. Okay, I'm used to journaling, but writing, it wasn't something that I can just focus on. I'll be like, okay, I'm writing a book under my name. No, until the pandemic. So I started writing my first book, Rise to Greater Heights. Through the pandemic, guess what? I was in the travel industry before the pandemic happened. So when the pandemic happened, everything in the travel industry was kind of a standstill. No revenues being generated, no nothing. So I'm like here sitting thinking, do I have to approach depression or I'll have to shift my mindset? So I started writing my book, encouraging myself, rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights. I was like, you know what? It's time to rise to greater heights. Like, what's holding you back? What's holding you back from going confident in the direction of your dreams? I'm like sitting down. Is it fear? Is it rejection? Is it procrastination? Is it distraction? So I'm like, assessing my goals progress. Now I'm like, okay, now I kind of figured what was holding me back. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Chase after success. After chasing after success, grow your business. After growing my business, I'm like, cultivate your mindset for success, because without a proper mindset, it is so impossible. Like setting your mindset for success is so significant, more especially in this pandemic, in these circumstances that we live in. So I wrote my first book. I was like, wow, 45 days done. And then two months down the line, I came across Les Brown, mentored, being coached, being inspired by Les Brown. I was like a baby to him. He was just feeding us throughout the pandemic. So to me, that was something very major I have done. And I have really scared myself as well. I'm like, did I just do that? Did I just do that? So when doing my coaching, like today, I'm coaching motivated individuals, government officials, public figures, executives, entrepreneurs, coaches who just want, who are being forced, or who just wanna make that shift in their life. So I am grateful. I am grateful, and the sky is no longer the limit, Dr. White. The sky is no longer the limit, but the
Wow,
sky is our point of view. So we are all here, and we're gonna rise to greater heights.
that is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And we celebrate your success with you. And I wish you so many more books, so much more business, because you deserve it because you stepped out on faith and now you're reaping those rewards. So congratulations to you. And I want Dr. Charlene to now kind of take us to the next level with this. What was something big that you first did? I don't care when you did it, and it succeeded, and you're like, "Oh my word, I did it."
Right. Well, I've done a lot of things throughout my life, but I would say one of the first big things that I ever did was when I used to live in New York years ago. I mean, I was into fashion, so I designed a fashion line of lingerie. And
Oh,
I
good.
was in my
Nice.
early 20s, and it was really, really big. Had I pursued it, I could have been in competition, or there wouldn't be a Victoria's Secret. Okay. But
Wow.
it really was big. I had put my stuff in stores in New York. It was a really
That's
big
powerful.
thing. Yeah, so I was having little fashion shows. People were buying it. It was they were custom made lingerie. So that gave me the like there's nothing I can't do. Anything I put my mind to it, because that's just how I anything I put my mind to it, I can do. So that was
Wow.
just very empowering for me. Just always felt the sky was a limit. Just making my own patterns and putting my stuff out there and people wanting it. So that was, something really successful that I did. And I wanted to address the fact that you was talking about haters. I did allow at one point in time, someone to speak negative words to me. Someone, was a coach, and she
Mm.
really said some very negative words to me that I allowed to flatline me,
Yeah. Right.
um, in my coaching and what I was going after. Because you got to understand, when people say things to you, it's either going to bounce off because you don't have that belief about yourself, or it's going to sit
Mhm.
root. So when that person said that, then
Oh,
those words found a spot in my soul, that somehow believed that, believe those words, and it flatlined me for a minute, and I really had to work on getting over that, and coming back out and just doing what I had to do. So I would just say, dealing with your inner is very, very important, because you're going to hit those things, that's going to flatline you. So you got
wow.
to look, just like you said, look for past successes in your life. Look for things that you have done in your life that you were successful at, no matter, as you said, how long ago it was. Maybe you made the cheerleading team or the soccer team, or, maybe you won a speech contest or something you've done. Build from that. How did you feel? What were those feelings? And I think this is very, very key that you brought this up, Dr. India, because people need to look at their successes, because we're our worst critics. So we
Yeah.
have two voices. We have an inner coach and an inner critic, and we pay too much attention to the inner critic.
Yeah.
So start working on that inner coach. You have to cheer yourself on.
Oh my word. I'm so thankful you're talking about this. This is so genuine because I think many people have been flatlined, and I'm going to let Dr. Vera take it from there as well, because it's hard, especially when you think that person is for you and they've got a knife the whole time.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Vera, talk to us about a time that you might have been flatlined, or you might have felt trampled on by somebody that you thought was going to help you, and the reverse happened. And how were you able to move forward as a result?
Well, growing up, I was told things like, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're fat, you're ugly, you're nothing, you'll never be anything.
Hmm.
And that flatlined me as a child. I mean, how could I believe that I was anything more than what I was told?
Yeah.
And I read a book called The Magic of Believing that actually changed my life. And it talked about, you know, acting the way you want to be. If you want confidence, act like you have it,
Yeah.
even if you don't. And I started falling asleep at night saying, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. And I started eating all kinds of self help books and personal development, and wanting to change me because I did not like me. I didn't like me because I didn't know me. And I didn't know me because no one was pouring into me the positive things that I may be. And so I had to really work on me. You can't give what you don't have, and you can't teach what you don't know. And
Yeah.
so I can't do what I do without better understanding who I am and whose I am.
Mm,
So,
wow.
that's, and then I vowed that I would never allow anyone to shatter me or make me feel less than, because I know who I am and I know whose I am. And I am only who I am because
Wow.
of whose I am. Because of myself, I am nothing. But
Yes.
Yeah.
through God and through Christ, we can do all things through Christ, which strengthens us.
Wow.
And we are fearfully and wonderfully made. He
Yes.
said it. I compiled well over 100 self-esteem and confidence scriptures,
Wow.
that I give out in my classes so that people understand this is who God says you are. It doesn't matter who other people say you are. It doesn't matter. What
Mm.
matters is who you say you are and who God says you are.
You know what? Listen, y'all queens are helping healing happen for so many people.
Yeah.
I you started talking about the seeds that have been planted, and Dr. Anika mentioned something here. Code words for I'm jealous is I feel inferior to you, and they will never say it, but their actions. It's like if you have a garden and somebody is
Mhm.
sowing weeds in the soil on purpose because they want to mess up the garden, or it's if you have a garden and they're saying, oh, we're going to water this garden, but we're going to water it in the full blazing sun because we know
Mhm.
that it's going to actually be a detriment, even though we look like we're doing a help, right? We know not to garden unless it's in the cool of the day, or late at night, because if you water at that time you can mess up your garden. So you've got people out here who are doing things like this, mischievous things, and unfortunately they've sown these roots. And like Dr. Charlene was saying, it's fed into the trauma of people, and so then they don't necessarily have the support or the motivation that Dr. Real has. So
Mhm.
how do we help them bounce back? So I want you ladies to talk about things that you do in your practice every day to help people that have been discouraged, that have been traumatized, that have been abused, that have been stepped on. How do you help them to be restored and to be revived again with the services that you offer, and any advice that you have for them? Go for it. I'm going to let Dr. Real start us, and then Dr. Vera, and then Dr. Charlene.
Like I've mentioned from the beginning, that you are destined for greatness. In my life, what has carried me so far is that I have been an underdog. They don't see you coming, but you are definitely coming. Be an underdog in your own zone. They always say that work hard in silence and let the success makes the noise for you, and it's definitely gonna make the noise for you. Trust me. Don't sell your ideas, don't sell your goals, don't sell your dreams that you have inside of you. Work hard in silence and let the success make the noise. I know many people have become crippled by their past encounters. Like we all have our past encounters here, and I know some who have stepped over other people to get to the top. But you know what? I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us, and your objective is what you were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, we are all destined for greatness as long as we follow His strategy, because that's when the growth commences. Because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. It's so funny, was when I was in the 8th grade, I always bring this because it's the phoenix within me that has just carried me this far. The phoenix, like if you know the history of a phoenix, it's a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. So if you look at the phoenix, this immortal creature, it acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor. This represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you, if you're listening and watching under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars and show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. So believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You've got bigger goals than you think you can achieve, and you can definitely go for it if you put your mindset in there.
Wow. That is phenomenal, especially about the phoenix, because I think people don't realize that they can resurrect, they can bounce back. It's like when you have a plant that is wilted at the store and they're offering it for $1 because it looks like it's done. But if you take care of that little one and you give it some water and some fertilizers and soil, it's going to bounce back and it'll take over your garden depending on what type of flower it is. And we all have that same potential. And so, with that said, Dr. Vera, I want you to speak now of things that you offer that help people that have been in that same state of they've given up, they've been trampled on, they don't know how to resurrect their dreams, and services that you've offered.
First of all, I'm not a doctor yet. I want to correct that. I don't want to, I'm not yet, but I wanted to share that.
Okay.
First of all, I think it's very important. We can't wait until a child is in middle school or high school to try to shape them and mold them. It starts even when they're in your womb. And so my whole purpose right now is just touching the lives of children and their parents. I want parents to really understand, one, their parental style, because there are different parental styles that we need to be aware of and know the impact of those styles. Also, parents understanding what is it that I do that can destroy my child's self-esteem, and why am I doing those things? Perhaps it's because I am still dealing with my unresolved issues. I am still dealing with the baggage that you need to go to Dr. Charlene to address. And so being able to help parents and their children, pouring into children and making them understand their greatness is important to me. And being able to speak life. Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Hallelujah.
And what we say, what we say to ourselves and what other people say to us can lift us up or tear us down.
Wow.
And so the first thing that
Wow.
anyone that's going through stuff, feeling disappointed, feeling discouraged, whether you're a child or an adult, start speaking life. Start speaking life. Tell yourself, I'm wonderful, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm kind. However you want to be, tell yourself that and speak it. Like I said, I would fall asleep at night saying, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. I would fall asleep at night saying that because I wanted that confidence so bad. And so speaking life and seeing, visualizing how you want to be, doing vision boards, all of those things can just really help. And just because you're down today does not mean you're going to be down forever. Everything changes. Everything changes. And even saying to yourself, this too shall pass.
Amen.
And accepting the things you cannot change.
Wow.
But changing those things that you can and know the difference. Most things we can change.
Wow.
Let's face it. Most things we can change. Now, there are some things that we can't change. And if we can't change them, then we don't need to worry about them. We just need to move on.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much for this advice. And now I want Dr. Charlene to wrap us up with this question here. How do they become restored? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. White, for this opportunity, because this is my baby, is helping people to recover their identity and come out of hiding and deal with those past issues. So one of the things, because I'm a life coach, a life strategist, I work with women one-on-one or in a group setting. And then another thing that I do, I have the Soul Care series, which is a quarterly series. Right now, we're right in the middle of it. Next week will be our last session. And this quarter, we're dealing with trauma and the effect on your mental health and mental well-being. So I brought some experts in to talk about how different things that you go through, how it's affecting your mental health. So I have mental health therapists and clinicians, and we have one more person's coming in who's a mental health crisis trauma experts coming in on this Monday. So they're 4 weeks. We did one in relationships. We did one trauma in your soul. So I do these every once a quarter, and those are 4 week sessions. Another thing that I'm about to launch is the soul care course. Is titled "Are You Hurting, Hiding, or Healing?" So that
Wow.
course is designed to help you recover your identity, deal with those hidden wounds, because we look good on the outside, but it's those hidden wounds inside. And a lot of people don't realize they have hidden pain because they don't know. They're like, I'm good, but then you have to ask yourself certain things. I mean, how do you validate your self-esteem? What are the type of things you do? Are you dealing with unforgiveness? Are you dealing with jealousy? You have anger, you have rage, you have bitterness. Those are all part of hidden wounds.
Wow.
I help people to rebuild their foundation so they can control their destiny. It all starts from the beginning. You got to deal with those inner issues, those inner concerns, those thoughts in your head, and identify where they're coming from and why certain things playing such a big role, a major role in my life. So once you're able to deal with that, then you're able to springboard from there and to do what you want to do. But too many times we focus on, oh, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do all these things, and want to know why we're flatlined, because you didn't deal with those inner things. And that's my purpose, is to help people to
Wow.
come to overcome those hurts, to overcome those experiences, whether they were adverse childhood experiences or the adverse negative adult experiences, that being bullied or whatever the trauma is. I mean, you have poverty. We all just came out of a worldwide pandemic, or we're still coming out of the pandemic. That was traumatizing for many people. Loss of job, having to relocate, loss of family members. That was the
Right.
pandemic was traumatizing for other people. So just helping people come out of hiding, hurting, or healing, and really rescripting their life so that they can walk in their purpose. They can know who they are. They can recover their identity. They can be the woman that God has purposed them to be. And that's what I do.
Dr. Charlene, thank you so much for helping us. Now, I want us to know, how can we contact you regarding your Soul Kit course and some other things that you have going on? If you could share that information, and then I'm going to go to Dr. Vera and then end with Dr. Rayal.
Yes. Well, you can follow me across all social media at Charlene D. Winley. My website is charlenedwinley.com. Up there, you will see, when you log onto that page, you will see the Soul Care series. You can subscribe to join. You have to register for it, so you can register, and then you'll be invited in on Monday. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We would love to have you. Anyone who wants to be a part of it to come in and join. It's also live streamed in my Facebook group, the Soul Care is Self-Care Facebook group. So that's another way that you can be part of the Soul Care series. And as I stated, you can follow me across all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Charlene D. Winley.
Okay. So Charlene D.
Yep,
Winley.
CHARLENED, as in Denise, Winley, WINLEY.com is my website. And
Awesome.
at Charlene D. Winley, my Facebook page is Dr. Charlene D. Winley. Follow me on Facebook. My profile is Legacy Maker 15.
Awesome. Okay. So I hope you guys are going to definitely follow up with that. I'm super excited. And I'm now going to turn it over to to Vera, who knows, you might be a doctor
Just go ahead
soon.
and call it doctor. Speak that into existence. Just go ahead.
Thank you. I claim it.
So now, so now, Vera, go ahead and tell us your info and anything you have coming up, so we can celebrate and see how we can become a part.
Yes, I have camp scheduled for the month of June, and I am excited about it. It's for 8-year-olds to 12-year-olds, and it's going to run Monday through Friday every week in June. The first week is for boys and girls. The second week is for girls only. The third week is for boys only. The fourth week is for boys and girls. I'm only selecting 10 kids to be a part of this camp so that I can pour into them, really. Now, we're going to be talking about self-esteem and confidence. We're also going to be addressing the issues of bullying, being a bully, being bullied, and also the bystander, and help kids that come into this camp recognize those three characteristics and how they might change. We're also going to be presenting presentation skills. And what's so exciting about this camp is online. So kids will be able to actually see their progression from day
Wow.
1 to day 5 because we're videotaping and they're going to be able to see their transformation. And
That is so
so,
amazing.
again, I'm only accepting 10 kids. So I want to encourage you, if you're listening, if you have an 8 to 12-year-old, either parent, if you're a parent, grandparent, guardian, you want to get, and you're concerned about whether or not your child has confidence and self-esteem, or you're concerned that they're being bullied or that they are bullied, then you want to have them come to this camp. It will run from 9 until 12 every day, Monday through Friday, for 5 days.
Wow.
So I can be reached at, yeah, she just put the registration form is there, bit.ly/greatness 2022.
And
Go
you
ahead, sign up now, sign up now. And also, you can reach me on Facebook, The Vera Thomas Show, or vera.thomas.779. That's also my IG, Instagram tag. And I'm also on LinkedIn and I am on Twitter, but I don't do much with Twitter. So find me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, and you can find The Vera Thomas Show on YouTube.
awesome. Wow, this is phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm
Um,
excited for these little ones. So starting June, guys, go and register for that camp for your 8 and 9-year-olds. Hey, I might have to
uh-oh.
Oh, she froze. Hello.
taken
Oh my.
place lately. Um, again, like I said, bullying has just been ridiculously lately in these schools.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so thank you, Vera, for putting on this amazing camp. And so now we are going to end with Dr. Real.
Oh,
Go ahead
yeah.
and talk to us, Queen, about what you've got going on and how we could reach you.
Thank you so much, Dr. White. Oh my goodness, for this opportunity. I just want to be on this platform for like forever. And by the way, I recommend Coach Vera. My kids are a product of her, so I recommend her. She has instilled greatness on my kids' lives, confidence, the transformation. I can write a book about what you've done for my children. So thank you so much, Coach Vera. Thank you so much. No, no, just go away. They just heard me talking about Coach Vera, so they want to see. So, good people, kings and queens, I am on a mission. I am on a mission to transform lives of my clients around the world and my audience. In my career lifespan, I've assisted many clients around the world to create a vision of what their lives and their businesses could look like, setting goals for themselves, focus on their acquisition of knowledge, and helps them to organize their time and resources so they can make the most of their lives. So if that sounds like you, I am available on all social media platforms. If you can just go on Instagram, look for Rise to Greater Heights, go on Facebook, Rise to Greater Heights, go on my website and grab that free transformation guide, which will turn your fears into greater success. It's www.risetogreaterheights.com, because you know what? The sky is no longer the limit, but the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you so much,
Wow.
Dr. White.
So again, we can reach you on all social media, Rise to Greater Heights, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And then, of course, her email as well. I wanted to share if that's okay with you.
Yes. It's
For those that,
admin. Yeah,
yes.
admin at risetogreaterheights.com.
Okay. So let me get this back on here and I'll share that
Yes.
email with you guys as well so that you can reach her tonight or throughout the week. And I'm sure that these ladies' calendars are filling up. So you don't want to slack on this. Now it's admin at risetogreaterheights.com, correct?
Yes, that looks good. Yeah.
Phenomenal. So, guys, this has been a phenomenal show. I'm going to let you guys end with one more word of wisdom, and then we're going to call it a night. So let's start with Dr. Charlene, and then we'll go around.
Well, thank you very much once again for allowing me to grace your stage. Just want to leave with you tonight, the audience, people in the audience. Follow your dream, pursue your purpose that's in you. Because one of the things I always say, I don't want to stand before God and He says, "This is what I had for you, but
Oh
this is
my
what you
word.
settled for." So don't settle for anything. Dream big, go after the big, go after the great, because greatness is within you. Go
Wow.
for it.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for sharing that. Next, I'll let Dr. Ray, I'll go next.
Oh, kings and queens, you know, knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can make your dreams come true today. So go confident in the direction of your dreams. Don't let naysayers be in charge of your driver's seat. You are the one who are in charge of the driver's seat. So keep on driving until you reach your destination. We are here to serve our purpose. We are here because we have the greatness within all of us. So go confident in the direction of your dreams and rise to greater heights.
Thank you so much for that wonderful nugget of wisdom. And now, Vera, let's wrap it up.
First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you. And you ladies, it's been an honor being here with you. I just want to say to the listening audience and to parents, please encourage your children, lift your children, let your children know how special they are. And also feel that within yourself as well. You can't give what you don't have. So work on getting that greatness inside of you out so that your kids can see it and then emulate it, because children grow to be what they see. So be that parent that's going to uplift and encourage yourself. Sometimes we have to encourage ourselves. You
Yeah.
know, stay away from naysayers, like everybody is saying. Sometimes it's better to just be by yourself and work on yourself to be that best person that you can be. God bless you. And know God has a work for you, a plan for you, and you need to walk in it.
Wow.
Thank
That is
you.
so powerful. Thank you all, ladies. Give yourselves a hand. Guys, thanks so much for joining the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White. This has been a phenomenal show. And with that said, we will definitely be on air next week. So I'm so thankful for all of you ladies for joining us. Feel free to tune in for future segments. And again, guys, have a wonderful night. You can always come back here for some amazing times of just moments that we're going to share. And we'll continue to keep you posted with other great events that we'll be launching as well. So take care, everyone. Have a phenomenal night. With that said,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.